Okay, this is the video for the 2001 Kawasaki W650. This will be a walk around, startup, light check, horn, etc. I'll start first with what's been done to this bike since it was new. You'll note right off the bat it has a Corbin seat on it, which gives you all-day riding comfort compared to the factory seat, and that ran about $500. It also has the leather-like saddlebags, which I will show you shortly how they mount up. They pop on two pins that are already mounted on the bike. You can't even see them when the bags are off, but you just slide them over the holes and put down the clips and you're off and running, and they come off the same way in reverse. So it's really nice. You got side bags if you want to take a trip, and you can take them off if you want to just tootle around town, and they're extremely useful. The rear shocks have been upgraded to an Icon, specially made for this bike, and that's IKON. You can look up on the internet. Gives a big improvement along with the progressive front fork springs, which are about 20-25% stiffer, and also upgraded to a 15 weight oil. So those two suspension adds really settle the bike down when you're at speed, like on long sweeping corners with bumps and whatnot, and it just transforms the bike magnificently. It also has lower handlebars, which are still comfortable and still give you a nice standard position. The factory ones are kind of like wheelbarrow handlebars. They're just way too wide and tall, and so everything really feels good now. And you'll notice the windshield edition, and this is a windshield that really blends into the retro cafe look intentionally, the way it lays down, as opposed to just standing straight up like a modern windshield would, and it's slightly smoked. So everything is really dialing into what the bike is intended to be. And then also it has extra heavy bar end weights, which cut down the vibration to almost nothing at the handlebars under any of the driving and use conditions. So all these will be outlined in more detail in the text as far as these additions, but these are the things that you wanted to do if you knew about the bike and how to make it as perfect as possible, while keeping your parts and labor expenses under $2,000 to make it everything it should be. Also note that with the 2001 edition, these are by far the most rare of the W650s. The 2000s in the blue and silver, you'll probably see 15 to 20 of those for sale, like over the course of a couple years, for every one of the 2000 that has this British racing green and the cream tint color. So it is definitely the more desirable bike from standpoint of collecting or rarity. So I'll do a walk around here, and the bike has under 10,000 miles on it, and it is just in very nice condition. It's never been down, and you can see here in the front of the engine, you can just see there's just no road rash to speak of. The guy I bought it from was an old Triumph guy, but he wanted something reliable. He just rode it on, back roads, sunny days. Finally got too old to ride anymore. And this does have the factory upgraded oil filter kit installed. So you take a larger, better, more efficient oil filter that's also a Kawasaki product. And so you can see the low lay-down windshield looks really cool. And as I mentioned, the bike's never been down. You can see the engine cases are just flawless. And if you're looking at this bike, you're probably aware that this has a bevel drive gear off of the camshaft that runs a shaft drive up to a bevel drive, so that you have gear-driven cams. And so basically it's a bevel gear drive on each end of the shaft that's running off the shaft and turning via all the gears, the camshafts. So there's no cam chain to ever adjust or go out or anything like that. and it's really cool in its engineering. So we'll just keep walking here, and it's about 35 degrees right now outside, so it's cold. The ground's finally got dry enough for me to bring the bike out to be able to shoot some pictures. You can see that the bike hasn't been down. It's always been stored inside in a heated shop from the original owner and myself. It's been in my museum for quite some time. I finally got tired of renewing the plates since it, was just on display, and so that's why they're expired. See, just the beautiful condition. The sun's so low right now; it's coming down on the side, but there are some still pictures of the inside of the gas tank that will show you it's totally clean. And you can see the mileage is 98, 141 miles. You can see the oil light is on, and the neutral light, the high beam, you can see comes on, and the turn signal. So all the dash lights work. Just do a sweeping over here. And again, look at all the engine cases. There's just no damage. So I mean, if you want to put this in another collection, you don't have to do anything. If you want a really nice, rare example, year-wise, of a rare bike, the W650, this is it. And these bags, I really like these things. You can see here, so these are the mounts that stay permanently on the bike, and when the bags are off, you don't even notice them. But what they do is when you put them on, you got these two holes here, and those pins push through, and then you got a clip that just goes on the inside and holds them in place. So they go on easy and quick, they come off easy and quick. So if you want to go for a long ride for the weekend or something, you can pack all your gear. If you want to just ride around town, you can take the bags off and give it a more cleaner look. Okay, so this has a vacuum petcock, which means you just leave it on all the time. You can see the vacuum port back here, and that way the gas only flows through the petcock when the engine's running and creating a vacuum. And so your petcock options are on, straight down as prime, like if you've rebuilt your carburetors or you stored it and you had the carburetors drained, you turn it on prime for a couple minutes and then on to on, and that way the carburetors will be filled before you try and start it. And then pointing all the way back is the reserve. Here is your choke. Pull it out, and then turn the key on, which I left it on. Okay, and then make sure it's on run, and then hit the starter. Okay, and I can slowly push the choke off. Okay, and you can see it's idling here, happy at 600 RPMs. So I'll help it. I don't want it to stall until it warms up a little bit. Once it's warmed up, it'll idle about 800 RPMs. The other thing that's amazing about this engine, even though it's a 650, is that you can literally put this thing into fifth gear, top gear, at 2,500 RPMs and drive it around, and it's totally happy. I've never seen a bike with this small displacement that has such wonderful bottom end. And you can just lug it around and it's totally happy. You can ride it briskly if you want, but it's nice to know that it's very easy to drive and not demanding. You could be in any gear, up or down from the perfect gear, and it's not going to complain. Okay, so make sure it's going to stay idling. So you can see now it's idling about 700 RPMs. We'll get up to about 8. So do a light check. So here is low beam, high beam, tail light, brake light, and then front left turn signal, rear left turn signal, right rear turn signal, right front turn signal. And what's also nice is these are self-canceling signal, or not self-canceling, but you don't have to turn it back. You just push it in. So if you go turn, take a left turn, you just do that, cancel it when you want. Take a right turn, do that, cancel it when you want, just push it in. Here's the horn. That's a horn. But just look at the hand controls. There's no sun fading anywhere on the instruments, on the controls. It's only been outside when it's been used. You see there's no damage on the bar ends, the mirrors, the turn signals. It hasn't been down. It's in just fantastic condition, which is why I bought it. Because even though I wanted to ride it a little bit, it was going to be mainly for the museum, but I'm out of room and I'm kind of shifting over to liquid cooled, street legal two-strokes that never came to America. So I feel like I'm selling my children off into slavery, but I need to make room. So if you want the best example out there of the most rare year and the most beautiful color low mile bike with all the extras that I mentioned, you're not going to find a nicer bike than this. So please read all of the text in the ad, because I have stuff in the text I forget to put in the video, and I have stuff in the video I forget to put in the text. And then also, and the video's on YouTube, so you'll see a link. And then also I will put as many pictures as I'm allowed to put in, and they will all be high-def pictures. So after you watch the video, look at the pictures, read all the text. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And thank you.